Viewer, there are troubling reports of a third accident involving India's beloved homegrown Tejas fighter. We are told the accident took place about 2 weeks ago at the frontline Nalia Air Base in Gujarat, and this was no ordinary incident. According to multiple reports over the last 48 hours, the aircraft, the Tejas, was damaged so severely during either takeoff or landing or some kind of a landing or ground incident, it has meant a total loss of the aircraft, meaning it is beyond repair. That's what the reports tell us. It is gone. Even more concerning, the same reports suggest that the entire Tejas fleet of over 30 aircraft have been grounded as a safety and a maintenance inspection precaution, which effectively means that 30 plus aircraft are now grounded. 2 weeks later, there is still no clarity on whether that grounding happened immediately, but we know now that that grounding continues 2 weeks after the accident happened. Now here is what makes this situation just a little unusual. The Indian Air Force normally issues public statements after accidents or major incidents involving aircraft damage. This time there's been conspicuous silence, not even a response after the incident became public this week. And there may be a reason why. Tellingly, the Indian Air Force has also not denied the reports that this accident took place. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, the manufacturer of the Tejas, did issue a statement today, presumably because its publicly listed shares took a bit of a tumble in the wake of this story. It described the episode, surprisingly, as a minor technical incident and not a crash. But it carefully avoided two key questions. A, is this aircraft damaged beyond repair? And was the fleet grounded? Now, I can confirm to you here on India Matters tonight that since the accident took place 2 weeks ago, the Tejas fleet remains grounded. And the reason for this, my sources in the Indian Air Force have told me, is a safety and a maintenance inspection that seeks to go to the root cause of why this mysterious accident took place. Now, let us be absolutely clear. Aircraft accidents do happen. Military aviation is inherently risky. And as a defense correspondent, I have reported many such incidents. They are not uncommon. In this particular accident, the pilot is said to have escaped without any serious injury, which is ultimately what matters. And that is also precisely why the absence of basic information this time is puzzling. Both the previous Tejas accidents, as you can see in these pictures, happened in full view of cameras. One near Jaisalmer in 2024 during a combat exercise, and the second last year, you remember it, horrifyingly caught on camera at the Dubai Air Show. The third incident that happened this month happened at an airbase, no cameras, but also conspicuous silence. Now, some of my sources point to Operation Sindoor still technically being underway as a possible reason for the Air Force's decision not to officially comment on this incident. But it is difficult to see why an operational deployment should prevent transparency about what appears to be a routine incident, especially one where a pilot has reportedly been injured and thankfully only some minor injuries have been sustained. The vacuum of information has had consequences which have to be acknowledged. Pakistan's information warfare networks, which have been in hyperdrive after that country was pulverized during Operation Sindoor, they've jumped in, pushing exaggerated claims and propaganda about the Tejas program, unfairly targeting a fighter that actually has one of the best safety records in the world and flown by the finest fighter pilots in the world. Tonight I speak not just as a journalist who covered Operation Sindoor from the front lines, but as someone who has flown in a Tejas, had that privilege, and knows many pilots who actually fly this beloved and beautifully safe aircraft. The Tejas community deserves clarity. The public deserves clarity. What happened? Was the fleet grounded immediately? And what lessons have been learned? With full acknowledgement of the Indian Air Force's professionalism and choices, those are answers that need to come right now. Now I'm going to show you what we know and what we don't know so far as this accident is concerned. And the reason, viewer, why I'm dwelling on this accident is because when there is an accident where an aircraft is damaged beyond repair, there is always supposed to be transparency. This time, suspiciously, there isn't. Number one, what we know, this was an Indian Air Force Tejas fighter that met with an accident on the 7th of February. What we don't know is whether the Tejas was damaged beyond repair, because HAL in its statement says it was a minor technical incident, but we are hearing from reports that the aircraft is a write-off, it's been completely damaged. What we know, grounding of the Tejas fleet has happened. I can confirm that here on NDTV. What we don't know is whether the grounding continues 2 weeks later. And right now, just before we began this broadcast, I got a confirmation of that as well. So that becomes a fact that we know. What we know, the Tejas pilot was injured in this accident. What we don't know, the nature of the injuries or how he actually got out of the aircraft. He didn't eject, that we can also confirm now. What we know, the HAL statement says it was a minor technical incident. What we don't know, the official Indian Air Force version of events. My sources in the Indian Air Force have told me that a safety stand down of the fleet has been effected for maintenance inspections in order to get to the root cause of why this February 7th accident actually took place, in which this aircraft was damaged. Now, another set of data points I want you to think about before I go to my experts tonight. Why does a Tejas accident raise eyebrows? Why is it such a big deal? It's military aviation. Accidents do happen, right? Well, the silence around the accident is what has led to speculation and all kinds of theories. Number one, this is an aircraft that has an excellent safety record among fighters, and that's the reason why any accident has a disproportionate response. Number two, the Indian Air Force has bet very big on the Tejas in terms of numbers. 30 plus aircraft already in service, 180 on order, which means a fleet order of about 220 aircraft in total, which is an enormous number. Number three, Indian Air Force and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited have over the years experienced some friction, which is not uncommon, over delays in the delivery of Tejas aircraft, particularly now with the Tejas Mark 1A, which is an improved version of the Tejas, 180 of which are on order. Deliveries were supposed to begin about a year and a half ago. Not a single one has been delivered. So there is bad blood as far as that is concerned. Number four, in the shadow of industry versus HAL proxy wars that are currently being fought, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is a large state-owned corporation that is perceived to be sidelined from certain future combat aircraft programs. So does this have something to do with that? And finally, HAL has issued a statement, but the Indian Air Force has not issued a statement. What does that actually mean? The maker has issued a statement, but the operator, the user of the aircraft, has nothing to say officially. It's given Pakistan the chance and the opportunity to indulge in psychological operations and information warfare to defame and dent the Tejas' image.